I'm Del Fandrich, and I have been in the piano business since 1961. I started out as a refurbisher of upright pianos, evolved into rebuilding pianos. I've worked for dealerships prepping new pianos, and eventually I got increasingly involved in piano design work. So for the last few years, I've been doing design and manufacturing consulting. For a time, we built our own pianos. I've spent a lot of time in China with different Chinese piano manufacturers of late. Without the Piano Technicians Guild and these conventions, we're not going to have a piano industry. So yes, I'd say there's a need for it. Without something to keep us moving, we either move forward or we die. That's true of organizations, that's true of industries, that's true of companies. You either evolve and get better or prepare to close your doors. When I started driving cars, I had to rebuild the engine in my car every 50,000 miles. If my engine gives me any trouble now at less than 300,000 miles, I'm going to be upset. And yet we still tell customers that you're going to have your piano tuned 2 or 3 times a year, and oh, by the way, you're going to have to regulate the action, and you're going to have to fix sticky bushings, and you're going to have to do... Buyers today don't like that. They want something trouble-free. So I like the idea of being able to put an action in the piano, step back, wash my hands, and leave. And I know it's going to work tomorrow. I know it's going to work next year. 4 or 5 years from now, will it need servicing? At some point, yes. But we've extended that time to meet modern customers' expectations. I've recommended them to various manufacturers as a means to stabilize their pianos, make them more trouble-free. One of the things I like about them, my own personal piano has these parts. It's an 1882 Kanabi Grand, and the action was toast. It was gone. And it was an obsolete action to begin with. When I started the piano project, I had a very clear idea of what I wanted in the way of touch. And this was the only way I could get it. I wanted to keep some parts of the original. I wanted to keep the wood rails, and I wanted to keep the wood action frames, but I wanted to replace everything else. I have one of Jamie Marks's infinitely adjustable model actions, so I was able to completely model the action design that I wanted on that. And with the Wessell nickel and Groass parts, they're almost infinitely adjustable. So I was able to come up with precisely the action ratio that I wanted. And when I transferred it from the model action to the piano, I got exactly what I wanted. And it's good enough. It's an 1882 piano. We have pianist friends who, when they're in a neighborhood, will just simply stop by to play the piano. They love it. And that's the kind of response I want out of an action. I wanted a blend between the early fortepiano actions and a modern piano action. I wanted reliability and the stability of a modern action without but I wanted it to be light and very responsive. And I got precisely what I wanted. The pianist wants an action that will respond to not just the mechanics of what they're doing, but to the emotions of what they're feeling. So you don't want the action to get in the way of that. You don't listen to the action. You listen to the piano, and the closer you can make that link between the pianist's emotion, what they're hearing in their heads, and the music that the piano is putting out, the better that musical experience is going to be. I hear that argument, oh, well, it's a wood action, it's warmer, it's whatever. In my view, that's poppycock. You don't hear the action. You hear the music. And the more intimate you can make that relationship between pianist and this wash of sound that comes out, the more musical that expression is going to be. When people come over to play my old Kanabe, they're not listening to the action. That's the furthest thing from their minds. If that was the case, I would have kept the old obsolete wood action, and there'd be nobody there to play it. I mean, they wouldn't bother.